Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to my Dune Awakening content. So folks, if you saw the video I posted yesterday, you saw that I released this map that we found on the website yesterday, which wasn't supposed to be officially posted yet because they had not made the announcement. But because I went ahead and posted that link that me and my boy Frigid found, we pretty much made them have to come clean with the announcement, because today, here it is, one day later after the posting of my video, here is the announcement about the preloading times and release times. So this is a big deal because this also answers one huge question that the community had, and I'm going to get to that in here in just a second. But I just wanted to say to all the haters on my video that tried to tell me, you don't know what you're talking about, this is not an official announcement, this is probably fake, blah blah blah. Guess what? You were wrong. So yeah, I just had to get that in there because it was just crazy the amount of people that were trying to poo-poo on my video saying I didn't know what I was talking about. And I was just like, guys, they posted it on their official website. Whether it was intentional or not, I really don't think it was, but they did. So there you go to all the haters. I couldn't resist getting my jab back at you from having to listen to all the nonsense. But anyway, one of the main questions that got answered today in this announcement, it was huge. They said less than 2 weeks away from launch of Dune, head start's even closer, time to grab your Frem kit, put on your still suit, and start getting ready. The first thing you need to know is when exactly can you play. And if you watch the video I posted yesterday, you'll see this is exactly the same map that they had up on the website yesterday. So the times have not changed. So if you want to, you can go to this announcement and you can see what the exact times are for your particular time zone. So, but here is the answer to the huge question that's being asked, and that is about preload. Everybody has been wanting to know, will they allow us to preload or not? They did say in a recent Reddit AMA that they would allow preload, and so we knew that they were planning on doing it. We just didn't know if it applied to Head Start people or full access people, because they didn't really specify that in the answer that they gave in the Reddit AMA. They just said that they would do it. Well, here they are finally answering the question, and it's, I mean, pretty much what we had hoped, that preload will be available to all pre-order owners 24 hours before the Head Start on June 4th. But please be aware that pre-ordering base edition does not grant Head Start access. Well, we knew that because the whole point of buying the two, the Ultimate and the Premium and the Ultimate editions, was so that you could get the extra goodies and so that you could also get the extra 5 days head start. So we kind of got that. So that's basically what we had hoped to hear. So for some of you that have slower internet connections, this is going to really help you be able to preload the game ahead of time. Hopefully you can get the game within 24 hours. If your internet connection is bad enough to where it may take you longer than 24 hours to get the game, man, I honestly don't even know how you're going to play the game if your internet is that bad. I mean, I feel for you. I've been there, done that. I've spent many years on DSL, so I get it, what it's like to have a terrible internet connection and have to wait for days after new content drops for your game that your friends are already playing, and you have to spend days downloading. I've been there, done that with Ark Survival Evolved, so I get that, and I feel for you if that's your case. But at least they are giving us a 24-hour head start download, and that is so cool of them. I'm so glad they're doing that, and I just want to tell Funcom, if you're watching my video, thank you for this. This is a really good thing that you've done for the people. What else you need to know? Well, multiple worlds and servers will be available at Head Start, but the majority of them will go live on launch on June 10th as more players come in. So if you're not joining us at Head Start, you will find plenty of fresh worlds to join on June the 10th. You can still choose a Head Start world or server at launch if you prefer, if you want to join friends playing there. So that is really cool. What that basically means is that even if you start on the 10th, because that's the version that you bought, you won't have access to those Head Start worlds until the 10th, but you can still join them if you choose to. So if you're in a guild that has the majority of its members, like mine, that are going to start in the Head Start, and you can't physically start until the 10th because of the version you bought, or just because of work and you can't get off and all those kind of things, that's completely understandable. With real life, we get it. But the ability for you to then be able to go back and join those Head Start servers to be with your bros and your sis is amazing. I'm so glad they're allowing us to do that. I think there's a real discussion here to be had for a lot of groups, because I think a lot of them may play the Head Start servers as kind of a trial and then migrate to new fresh worlds once June 10th gets here. I think a lot of guilds may be thinking along those lines and possibly planning on doing that. So that can have many different effects, and that's something that you kind of need to talk about with your guild and with your group. I don't really know how that's going to work out, because this part right here at the start is kind of open-ended, and I think that they have really left themselves some wiggle room here, because they don't really know what to expect. I mean, they kind of do know what to expect for early access, because they obviously can partner with Steam and find out just how many people bought early access copies of the game, and they do know that they are only releasing on Steam and PC at this time, so they don't have to worry about numbers coming in from console or anything like that at this time. So it's basically just the select audience on Steam, and I'm sure that Steam will partner with them and share those numbers with them. There's no reason for them to not. It's not like it's proprietary or anything. So they do know what the initial purchasing group was that bought the Head Start available access copies, because I mean, they have to be able to plan around that. So they should have a really good idea of how many worlds they're going to need per server region, and they should have a really good idea based on what happened in the beta weekend to be able to kind of figure out how to disperse those people to keep the experience at the best that it can be. I have a feeling that the Head Start server release is going to be pretty good, honestly, because the experience that we had in the beta weekend kind of was hopeful that they really were paying attention to how many they needed to spend up to kind of disperse the player base enough to make it a good experience to where you don't get stuck in queue forever. So I honestly, during the beta weekend, didn't even really have a problem with queue, and I was really surprised with that, because I had expected so much worse. But I kind of do think during the beta weekend that they overdid the servers just a little bit, because there were so many that were low to mid pop, and I never really saw a lot of them that were high. So I think that they were really concerned with making sure that experience in the beta weekend was good. And I hope that that carries over to the early access servers. But the thing is with that, and that's a delicate line they have to walk, they have to make sure and have enough server space available for the player base so that they have a good experience. But they also don't want to overdo it, because when you do something like that, then on down the road code, you may have servers that you have to close down for inactivity, or you may have to think about merging because of inactivity, and that's always a bad situation to get into when you have games that have overland building systems, because when you have people put down their base in a spot that they absolutely love and they want to hang on to for years, and then you merge a server, they possibly will lose that spot and not be able to get it on the new server that's being merged to or whatever. So that's a really bad situation that companies like this really don't want to have, so they usually always try to strike that balance between having just enough servers to make the experience good, but not too many to where it ends up with dead ghost towns, you know, months into the release of the game. So this is going to be interesting to see how many they actually spin up at the start. It says multiple worlds and servers will be available. It does not say how many, but it says multiple worlds and servers. Remember, worlds are the overlay map, and the servers are the Hogabasins that live on those worlds, and the worlds live on the server regions themselves, like Central USA or whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that influx of new players, but it's good for us because they know from the box sales kind of what to expect, like we talked about. So I think we're going to have a really good experience with this. Now, what the majority of players decide to do once the 10th gets here, that's going to be interesting to see, because that's going to be interesting if they decide to stay on their head start server, or if they choose to re-roll on the 10th for a new fresh experience. So I'm not really sure how I feel about that one, because honestly I want to be on a server where the majority of my people can get on the same physical server with me, so that we can all physically see each other and play together in game and on the same siege. But I don't know how that's going to work out. We're just going to have to kind of feel that out and see how it goes. We won't know till it happens, and then once it happens on the 10th, we won't be able to go back. So we have to really pay attention and kind of get the pulse of the community and see what's going on. But this is really good news for us, because this answers the question of, will we be able to preload the game? And that's a huge issue for a lot of people, so I'm glad that they finally answered that. And I'm glad that they gave us the release dates early so that we can be planning, because a lot of companies don't tell you this stuff until last minute. A lot of companies are really bad about not committing to something because they don't want to look bad when they can't hit their goal. Now, this could be delayed by a few hours here or there, because launches are typically a little sticky, so don't be too surprised if there are delays in the actual launch time. It's possible that could happen, but hopefully they'll be able to stick to this. And from what I've seen from them in the past, I really don't see a reason why they wouldn't, because they've handled everything that I've been a part of so smoothly so far that I'm a believer. I really am expecting a great experience, and I have a lot of faith in Funcom that they're going to handle this well. And call me what you will, call me a fanboy if you want to, but I'm actually a fanboy. I love this game. I love the premise behind it. I love what the company's doing with it, and I hope to be pleasantly surprised on early access day. So thank you for watching my content. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great work week, and I'm excited to be watching all the stuff that's going on with Dune right along with you. I'll be seeing you on the live stream on May 28th, where they talk about Deep Desert and mid to end game. Don't forget about that. That's coming up in 2 days from the posting of this video. So thanks for watching my content. I really appreciate it. If you found this content entertaining or insightful or helpful in any way, please think about subscribing, because I have a milestone that I'm trying to reach of 5,000 subscribers, and I would give anything if you would partner with me in that. Drag me across the finish line. Whatever we got to do to get there together, I'm looking forward to it. So I really appreciate you watching, interacting, liking, subscribing, all the things. Thank you so so much for being here, and I'll be here for you for years to come, making content on Dune Awakening. Peace.